Good day, everyone. How are you, class? All right, I know you all doing great. So before we start our lesson, I will introduce myself first. My name is John Paul Labasano from Teacher Education Program. So by the way, I am your teacher for today. So let's start our lesson. Our topic for today is about methods of teaching grammar, specifically interactive teaching. So, and the lessons that we need and learning outcomes that we need to meet at the end of our lessons are first, identify different interactive teaching strategies and understand interactive teaching method. So in here, grammar is something that runs through just about every aspect of language. Even the simplest sentences have grammar. Our curriculum may require us to teach standalone grammar lessons, and it's important to introduce various grammar points and topics so that the students have a richer understanding of the mechanisms of language. So in English class, we often use music that this highlights the structure of grammar and stress pattern. So let's now go to what is interactive teaching. So anyone from the class? So interactive teaching is a method that incorporates interactivity into lessons. Using games to teach grammar not only engages students but also helps them to remember what they've learned. So interactive teaching from the word interactive, meaning there is an interactivity into lessons. So in here, interactive teaching, it's all about instructing the students in a way that they are actively involved with their learning process. Formation of the young specialist takes place in university classrooms and time-consuming process of training based on the methods of teaching effectiveness that ultimately determines the skill level of the future specialist. So there are several models of pedagogy study. First, we have passive. Student acts as the object of study. So it could be listening and watching. So second, active. Student acts subject of learning. Like they are independent to work, they are creative enough on the creative task. And lastly is interactive. So the learning process is carried out in a continuous active cooperation of all students, or students and teachers are equal subjects of the study. So there are many ways to create and involve interaction. We have teacher and students interaction, students and students interaction, or by audio-visual and a hands-on demonstration and exercises. And also, it also encourage students to be active member of the class. Not only their interest will improve, but their knowledge, strength, team spirit, and freedom of expression will increase as well, so that there is a interactive teaching. So language teachers and language learners in many non-native countries are often frustrated by the disconnect between knowing the rules of grammar and being able to apply those rules automatically in listening, speaking, reading, and writing. And this disconnect reflects a separation between declarative knowledge and procedural knowledge. So of course, it is not only important to know about grammar rules. You need to know this in also in real life. So not only the existence in here or in our mind, but even in listening, writing, speaking, and even reading, we know how to use these rules. So we have also different ways on how to teach it effectively. First, we have to present. At the beginning of class, start by explaining the grammar clearly. So as a teacher, before we start our class, we have to give idea or background to our students of what is grammar all about, what is the importance of grammar, and also the structure of grammar. Second, practice. Once you're confident that your students have a good understanding of the basics, use structured, interactive practice to deepen their comprehension. So, as a teacher, you need to practice or to give some exercises and activities to your students so that they would practice to deepen their comprehension. And lastly, apply. After your short practice session, use more interactive methods to deepen students' understanding and comfort with the grammar being taught. So you need to apply that using interactive methods. So we have different activities, activity tip and method tip. First, we have activity tip. Watch a movie scene and fill in the blanks. Just choose a scene from an age-appropriate movie that fits your student's level. In method tip, teach in the language you're teaching, even grammar. So by using English in the classroom constantly, you move from treating English as an object to be learned to using English as a tool to communicate. As we all know that English is a universal language and it is also a medium of instruction in school. So next activity tip is bring real life into the classroom. So students learn better when the work they do engages concrete aspects of their lives. Switch rules interactive teaching is all about subverting traditional classroom rules and behavior. So as a teacher, switch rules is about, like, for instance, there are 4 groups in your classroom. And the first group will ask question to the second group, and the second group will ask to the third group, and the third group will ask to the fourth group, and the fourth group will ask to the first group. So there is a switch rules interactive teaching happens in the situation given. So here, method tip is ask for feedback. One of the most important elements is an interactive learning environment is giving your students many opportunities to tell you how they're doing. So we have also feedback slip. At the end of the lesson, we'll give them the chance to summarize what they've learned and indicate anything they struggled with, helping you to plan your next lesson. And ask a few simple questions and give students 5 minutes to answer them. So we have first, what was the most useful thing you learned today? So from the topic that we have been discussed, you will ask feedback from your students of what are the things that you have learned out from the discussion. So second, what grammar element did you find difficult and why? So we are not just only to find out the good learnings of the students, but also to cater the difficulties that they have been encountered during the discussion. So what part of today's class would you like to go over again in the next class? So here, it is also to give clarification to the students so that they would comprehend deeper about the topic. So here, as a teacher, we also have to know the teaching and the learning of our students so that we could cater everything on what embedded in their mind and to really give clarification to them if they have difficulties in understanding and comprehension about the topics that being discussed by the teacher. So in conclusion, grammar teaching is one thing that English teachers universally trend. Even you master all the techniques, but making it through the students will not easy. By interactive teaching grammar will engage students and to become active role in the classroom. From the simplest elements, from the feedback slip until the activity tip and method tip, it will gonna give you the clue in making our class success in teaching English grammar. So that would be all for today. Hope you'll learn something today. That would be all, and thank you and God bless us all.